That's right, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of AM Minnesota. We got a special event coming up in Faribault, as I said, on Facebook and Twitter and other places. Never thought I'd see the day when I said that. But as I said on some of those places, how can you not be in support of this particular program to supply children with school supplies? I mean, pretty basic, isn't it? Eric Lundin is with us. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Gordy. It's great to see you.
Eric, we were just reminiscing about a great player that played at St. Olaf College from Escanaba, Michigan, your hometown.
My hometown, yes. Scott Peterson was the player.
Oh, was he good?
Yeah, he was a great player for Olaf.
He could shoot from long range, man.
Yes, indeed, he could.
Other end of the gym, swish. But reminiscing about a specific game, I won't go into details on it, but one of the classic Mike Morrissey games. You got all kinds of great items on your silent auction here. We're going to talk more about it. For example, I'm going to give people a teaser to stay tuned. We'll talk about it later, Eric. Dr. Mike Hildebrand is going to be providing some musical entertainment that evening.
He sure will. He and Mark Hedenstrom. And that should make it just a real nice, relaxing evening.
Yeah. It's a fundraiser to get school supplies. A silent auction will be held on May 26th, 5 until 7 in the evening at the Loft. That's in the back rack building above the Cheese Cave. Distribution of the supplies will be on August 16th at the Community Center. Did a little reading on this, Eric. This started about 5 years ago, right?
It has, yeah. 5 years ago, a bunch of people who had been basically working independently from each other to get school supplies for children came together. And now they have a real solid group of individuals that have been branching out, and we've been providing students school supplies about 600 to 800 a year. The goal this year, 1,000 children we're hoping to supply a backpack and school supplies to.
No reason why we can't accomplish that goal. I think it would be a very easy to achieve goal.
Well, I wouldn't say it's easy, but the committee's been working very hard at getting people to donate money and to come to events such as this one, where we can raise money to get the school supplies.
Well, I guess I don't understand. School supplies aren't that expensive. I mean, we all should be able to kick in.
Well, $50 will get you a backpack and some school supplies. So when you start thinking about, we're going to get some backpacks supplied by the Salvation Army to sort of offset the cost. But we're hoping to raise about $15,000 so that we can get all these children off to a right start in terms of their school year in the fall of 2016.
Well, in order to raise $15,000, you have to have a lot of things on your silent auction.
Yes, we have about 50 items, including some great things from, including some golf packages at both the Legacy and the New Prague Golf Course, as well as the Guthrie, Chanhassen, and Ordway tickets. And then lots of wine as well that we're going to auction off.
You're kidding. Lots of wine?
Wine, yes.
Wow.
Yes. So.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, we're excited about the evening.
So I should let people know, Eric, I always get it mixed up, psychiatrist, psychologist?
I'm a psychologist with Rice County Mental Health. Yep.
Yes. And you're involved in this because?
Well, I'm a committee member, and a lot of the people who have led this committee over the last several years have come from Rice County Social Services. And so that's how I became involved.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, what a great thing to be involved in.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Our church, I go to Christ Lutheran,
Yes.
East Side. Our church for years has had a backpack program.
Yes. And one of our, the pastor who just retired there, Pastor Craig, was a part of our backpack committee, our Supplier Children Committee, until this year. He decided to end that when he ended his pastoralship.
Yep, his last Sunday is May 22nd. You can come hear his last sermon on May 22nd.
Yes. The only sermon I've heard Craig Bremhorst do is for a wedding. He gave a great sermon for a wedding that I attended.
He does a super job.
Yep.
We're going to really miss him.
Yeah.
But that's the cycle of life. That's how it all works.
Yes.
Someday I'll get to retire. Something to look forward
Someday. Gordy, you should never retire.
Oh, come on. We all get to have that, don't we? Retirement. Move on to, see sunsets on your deck every night. That'd be awesome. from 5 until 7 in the evening at the Loft in the Back Rack building. That's above the Cheese Cave in downtown Faribault. They're going to have a silent auction fundraiser. The goal is $15,000. They want to supply children, 1,000 children, with some school supplies, right?
That's right. It should be noted that 40% of children in the Faribault School District qualify for free or reduced lunch. 40%.
That's district-wide. It's
That's
higher
district-wide.
in some schools, yeah.
Yeah, and it's higher in some schools, right? But overall, 40%. So
Isn't that something?
it is. It is something, and so this is a way to just have students be prepared and be happy to begin the school year and be proud of the supplies that they have to be ready to learn.
Now, the $15,
Yes, $15 ticket to get in. Yep.
that's for your bid number, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it must be. Yes. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's what that is.
They're
Yep.
charging for a bid number.
Yep.
With that $15, you get a glass of wine and some cheese.
Yes. That's part of the
Naturally,
package.
Because right below you is the cheesecake.
Yes. Although I don't think we're getting, just so you know, I don't think we're getting our cheese from the cheesecake.
You're not?
No, we're not. Not this year.
Oh.
Last year we did. It was very nice of them to do that last year, but this year we're doing it on our own.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
in any event, you'll get a glass of wine, cheese, and your bid number for the $15.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, this is a fundraiser. That's why they're doing it this way.
Exactly. Yep.
Otherwise, it'd be tough to get to that $1,000 goal.
Right. And we're not trying to raise $15,000 just at this, but overall we have other fundraisers we're doing, but this is one that we're hoping to raise a fair amount, like maybe 20% of our total goal.
And did you say in our first segment that 600 were provided a year ago?
Actually 8 to 850.
So now we're at the 1,000.
We're going to 1,000.
Okay.
Yep. And you should see the kids' faces when they come to get their backpacks,
Okay.
and the parents too. It's become really kind of a grand event with people lining up sometimes an hour before we open the doors to the community center on August 16th to give all these school supplies away. It's really a fun event and a way to sort of get kids and parents thinking about the new school year.
So everybody applauds as they come get their backpack sort of thing?
Well, somewhat. I mean, I think they're just so excited. It's a pretty chaotic because there's just so many people that come to get their kids' backpacks.
Well, like I said on the Facebook post, I don't know how you can't support a program like this. Pretty
Right.
basic.
Right, and I think what we're finding is that poverty is one of the main reasons kids often don't do well in school. And so this is one way that we can combat that poverty piece in terms of getting them prepared for school and ready to go.
Yeah. Get the essential supplies that they can't otherwise afford.
Right, yes.
And we're talking about all kinds, we're very diverse here in Rice County and in Faribault specifically. So we're talking about all kinds of kids.
All kinds of kids, absolutely. All different kinds of races and color. And what a great thing we have here in Faribault to have this diversity in our community.
Yeah,
It's quite exciting.
it is a blessing, really.
Yes,
Need to embrace it a little more.
we do. Yes.
As a blessing. So, Eric, the Supply Our Children organization started 5 years ago. We already established that fact.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know how it got started? I mean, did a bunch of people just say, hey, let's start our own organization? Or
Yeah, I think some people that were behind it were Sandy Kimmis and Ann Schultz from Rice County Social Services, Carolyn Treadway from SHAC, So How Are Our Children, that organization, Craig Brimehorst. Those are some of the leaders, and with the help of Kiwanis, who have also been very much a part of this program.
Supply Our Children. Now, if people can't make the silent auction, I'm sure that you wouldn't turn down some funds, right?
No, people can make checks to the State Bank of Faribault and then just put in the designation line, Supply Our Children, and Brad from the State Bank of Faribault will know exactly where that should go and what account that should go to.
Just think, if everyone in Faribault were to donate the $50 you mentioned earlier, you'd more than blow away that
Right,
goal.
right. If you had even 500 people give $50, we'd be in great shape. for a couple of years. So it would be, so what a wonderful thing to do for our children. So, you know, other communities have had this backpack and supply our children school supply programs in place for upwards of 15 years. So we're kind of new to it. But I think the committee and the organization are quickly building some inherent authority in the community, and people are taking notice of this great need.
Yeah, and it is, as you mentioned, a great need. 40% district-wide kids
Free or reduced lunch. Yeah.
on that program. And I don't remember what the qualifications are for that. I think it's 4 times the poverty level or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. People who are going to be coming to get their backpacks pretty much know whether they're on free or reduced lunch. So.
And the word gets out to them, and they, you know, there used to be, some people might be a little ashamed of taking a handout. But
right. You know, it's interesting how people are pretty open about this in terms of knowing what their children need, and are willing to come pretty readily to get their school supplies. You know, no one will be turned away if they come. And, you know, it just should be noted that all of the individuals that come will get a backpack and a variety of markers, pencils, paper, and glue, depending on whether it's a grade school backpack or a high school backpack.
do you suggest I give you money as opposed to bringing you a backpack?
You know, that's a great
The
question.
reason I asked that is, years ago, I bought a little Viking backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Take it over to, I live across from Lincoln Elementary School.
Right.
I thought this would be kind of a cool deal.
Yeah.
I saw a list of school supplies, bought some of the school supplies, put it in the backpack, but they would rather not have, you know,
I don't think we would turn down school supplies themselves, but I think we have a uniform set of school supplies that they want to purchase. And so I think, but we would not turn down school supplies, but money is helpful.
Right, but I meant the backpack. You know.
Yes, the backpack itself, yeah. Backpacks themselves would not be turned down. We would take any
Even
backpack.
if it's a sports team?
Even if it's a
Something
sports
like
team.
that. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, you know, some people might, yeah, how come I didn't get a Viking back, you know, kind of thing.
Right. You know, I think actually children like a variety of backpacks, and so if people were to donate backpacks, that would be fine. So.
All right, I'll have to do a little shopping spree
Yes,
here.
indeed you will.
I mean, if you get to pick it out yourself, it kind of
Mhm.
adds a little something to the whole giving process, don't you think, Eric?
Oh, I think so, because you can have some meaning behind it. Yep. So I think the person, if you were to buy supplies, the person to contact would be Ann Schultz from Rice County Social Services.
She'll let me know what supplies I need to get.
Right.
Because it would depend on the age of the child, obviously.
Right, it would, yes.
This is for kids of all ages or elementary
K through
school,
12, all the way through. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So that makes a difference too.
It does make a difference because, you know, little kids need glue, high school kids not so much.
Yeah. All right. Well, so the best thing to do really is to give you money. Then you
Money
guys can
would
go
be
out
the
and buy.
best, because then we can go out and it's almost like, you know, March is, you know, food share month.
Correct.
It's the same idea. We have grants, and we get, you know, from Target and Walmart, which Walmart actually gave us a grant this year to get some school supplies there. But we can also get school supplies at a reduced rate at many of these big box stores. So that's also very helpful.
So your dollar is stretched further.
The dollars
Like
are
you said,
stretched.
The
Yes,
food
they
share,
are.
if I donate money, they can, I don't know, it's like 4 times benefit versus what I do if I go buy, bring in a can of food, you know?
Yeah, exactly, right. You can get so much more for the dollar than for the food itself.
Because they have that opportunity to get
Mm-hmm.
food at a reduced price.
Right.
And the same is true with these school supplies.
Yes.
So again, it's pretty basic. Don't you think, folks? Pretty basic school supply needs for school.
Yes.
And it's sad to think that, you know, there are people that can't afford even pencils and a backpack.
Yeah. There are
But we
people
can
out there
all
who
help.
cannot afford those things.
So it'd be cool if, so if what I'm hearing is true, then some children don't have this. That's why we want to raise this.
Right. And then it falls to the teacher or they just don't have the supplies. And so this just gets everybody off on the right foot for the beginning of the school year. And they have a safe place to put their books and their other materials that they have to bring home for homework, etc.
So again, this fundraiser, folks, is on Thursday, May 26th. Is there a significance to that date, or just happen to be able to book that day?
That's a good point. One of the other committee members really felt like that was, before summer really kicks off, and it's at the end of the school year. Sports is winding down by the 26th. It's kind of a little bit of a resting time right before the end of the school year, where people might want to get out and enjoy the spring weather and come down and visit with everybody that is passionate about kids in our community.
$15 to attend the event. You get a bid number on that at that price, I think, and it includes a glass of wine and cheese. It'll be from 5 until 7 in the evening, so they're not going to be there all night.
Right.
Dr. Hildebrand will be on the violin, Mark Hedenstrom on the guitar, so they'll be providing some musical talent.
Yeah.
How cool is that of those guys?
Yeah. Last year we had such a wonderful time. It was just a relaxing atmosphere with music in the background and people being able to visit and connect with each other.
Now you touched on the golfing at the Legacy, the New Prague Golf Course. Guthrie, Chanhassen, Ordway tickets. You said there are, what, 50 other auction
50
items?
other auction items, yep.
Can you highlight a couple of others for us, or?
Gift certificates to different restaurants in the community is another big one that we've
Sure.
had. And maybe some floral arrangements, or floral gift certificates, etc.
So stuff people need.
Yeah, stuff people need,
Have to eat, right?
and we're supporting and I think many of these gift certificates are coming from our local small businesses, and we appreciate that very, very much.
Yeah, and go out and support those businesses.
Yes, so it's a way to do that.
May 26th. All it takes, folks, is a couple of hours. You don't even have to stay the whole 2 hours.
You don't have to stay the whole time. Make your bids, have a glass of wine, some cheese, kick back, listen to some music.
Do you need to stay around to see if you won the bid, or will you call me if I did get the bid?
You can leave and we'll call you if you win the bid.
Okay. You hear that,
Yep.
folks? You know, if you can have a glass of wine, some cheese. I don't know what kind of cheese, but you can have some cheese.
Lots of different cheeses.
Along with a glass of wine, and enjoy yourself at the Loft, which is in the Back Rack building above the Cheese Cave in downtown Faribault. Supply our children. Well, you guys have really grown in the 5 years.
We've grown immensely. They usually, typically we were raising about $6,000 to $6,800 every year, and last year I think we got to about 10,000, and now this year we're shooting for about $15,000.
Again, I don't know how you can't support a program like this. A basic thing, having school supplies in school. You want the kids to do well. They aren't going to do well if they don't have the supplies.
No, they're not. And this just is increasingly becoming more and more of a need in our community.
Well, I know you're a mental health specialist.
Yes,
So
I'm a
it's gotta-
psychologist in the community.
There's got to be a bit of a tie-in here, right? The kids just don't feel good about themselves, I'm sure, if they
Right.
if they go to school and the
Right.
kid in the desk next to them has all the supplies and they don't.
Right. Dropout rates for high school students, one of the biggest factors for dropout rates for high school students is poverty. I mean, they're basically proving out that the correlation between poverty in high school students and dropout rates is really, really very, very high.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, they have to go out and probably earn a living to help mom and dad at home.
Well, yes, or they're just, there's just so much chaos at home, and living quarters are tight, and those kinds of things, that the stressors are just increased significantly. So this is one small thing we can do for those high school students especially.
That give them a better chance to have success, go on and get a college degree or go to a trade school and learn a trade and pick themselves out of that poverty,
Yes.
which is a cycle.
It definitely can be a cycle, right. And so we're working hard to break that cycle.
And we can all do our part.
Yep.
Just by donating toward this cause. Again, folks, if you can't attend the event, make those checks payable to
State Bank of Faribault. Put in the line on the bottom, supply our children, and then attention Brad, and he'll get it to our account.
Okay, sounds
And
good.
just one more thing, I want to thank Kiwanis one more time
Sure.
for all their support fiscally and accounting wise for this program.
Well, I know you're going to be back on the 16th of May. We're going to talk about mental health awareness, which is this month.
Yes, I'm going to talk about all the different services that Rice County Social Services provides for mental health, all the way from children to folks with serious and persistent mental illness, and also my favorite program, our outpatient psychotherapy program, where we see individuals on a weekly basis for therapy.
You know, I know you don't know specifics of this individual's case, but recently it was in the news that a young lad who had been incarcerated, they thought had autism. It turns out they ended up with depression.
That's really, really depressed. I did not hear about this particular individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now isn't that something? I thought, geez, you'd think you'd know the difference.
Well, I think a person who's really that depressed might look autistic.
Okay.
That's why.
So we're talking severe depression here.
Severe depression, yeah. And this is something that we've been, the whole state has been working on this regarding, making sure that our incarcerated individuals in our community get the proper mental health care. Because so many times mental health and legal issues are also connected. So we'll have lots to talk about on the 16th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember a warden on this very show many years ago from the Faribault Correctional Facility telling me that the majority of the inmates in the prison suffered some sort of mental health illness.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of anxiety. People have anxiety, chemical dependency issues, those kinds of things.
So if we want to lick the prison problem, we need to approach it maybe from a different angle, you know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely. Actually, the most recent studies show that we need to be really licking the problem when children are 0 to 3. If we can lick the problem at 0 to 3, we can lick our criminal behavior problem.
I'll be darned. So
Yeah.
you're telling me that these illnesses develop as young as 0 to 3?
Mm-hmm. Or the beginnings of those issues the seeds are really planted at that age, from 0 to 3. We need lots of interventions for our young families.
What types of things do we need to do?
We just need more support for parents who are doing the parenting and giving them the skills they need to be able to parent in a proper way. Yeah.
Man, they don't come with instruction manuals, do they?
No, they don't.
Kids, I mean.
Yep.
So again, Supply Our Children, May 26th. Again, they have golfing at the Legacy, at the New Prague Golf Course. I don't think I've been to the New Prague. I've been to Montgomery, that's a nice course. I don't think I've been to New Prague. Guthrie, Chanhassen, Ordway tickets, and a number of other auction items that'll be on the block. You'll hear some great music from Dr. Hildebrandt and Mark Hedenstrom, and it'll just be a grand night. And then the distribution, is that open to the public, the distribution? August 16th?
August 16th, yep. Just come. If you feel you're in need of a backpack, come on August 16th to the Community Center of Faribault.
Well, I'm thinking I'd like to see the reaction of these kids after I donate toward your cause.
You know that's a great question, whether we're going to be able to open it up. I think there's going to have to be a lot of real organized lines.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to come down, Gordy, you would be very welcome to come down and see what's going on.
I can come and cover the event, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the general public, you know.
Yeah, probably not so much, just because we're going to have there'll be so many people lining up. So.
Yeah, especially if you hit your goal.
Yes, we would love to reach our goal so we can give everybody exactly what they need.
That's only 150 more than you had last year.
Only 150 more. We're going up gradually here.
You're talking more than a 10% jump there.
Right.
I like that though. Let's be
Yeah.
aggressive, right?
Yeah, let's be aggressive. Let's
tiny.
tackle this.
Let's not make a tiny goal. And
Right.
we know we're going to blow the tiny goal out of the water.
Right.
Let's make a bigger goal.
No, we're going for the gusto here.
Yeah, I like
Yep.
that. Fantastic. Well, thanks, Eric. I do appreciate your stopping in, and I know you're going to be back on May 16th. You going to bring anybody with you, or?
Nope, I'm coming by myself. I like when you and I run the show together.
Well, there you go. And we'll talk about mental health awareness.
Yes, we will.
And this affects people of all ages. I know
Yeah.
there's a lot of depression. I've done some reading on this among the elderly, for example, especially, you know, you may have lost your partner of 60, 70 years or whatever, and you just don't know where to go in life.
Recently retired people, also at risk for depression.
I don't think that's going to
This
happen.
is one of the reasons why you should never retire, Gordy.
I don't see that happening. No, when it's time to walk away, it's time to walk away.
Yeah.
And move on to a new chapter in your life.
Yeah.
What I was thinking is maybe I'll move to Tanzania or something.
There you go. That would be a great way to have more purpose in your life. Go there and serve others, right?
It's just a thought, but we'll see what the health's like too. You know, that's a major issue when you hit those ages.
Mm-hmm.
The good Lord gives me good health. We can do more things.
You can. Yep.
If I'm not in great health, then obviously that's not an ability for me to do. So we'll have to see where we're at that time.
Yeah.
$15. I hate to say cover charge, but that's kind of what this is, right?
This is kind of like a cover charge, yeah.
$15. You get your bid number, which you write on the sheet.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm assuming that's what you do.
Yep. You just, and then there'll be all these sheets, and you make bids on all the different things that are available.
Thanks, Eric. It's always good chatting with you, and we're
Thanks,
looking
Gordy,
forward
for your
to
time.
May 16th.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll see you then.
May 16th. Eric will be back. We'll talk about mental health awareness on May 16th. Tomorrow, by the way, Josh Raymaker stops in from Rice County Public Health Nursing. May is bike month, so he'll be pedaling on over here, I would think, to be on